Hey, what's up everybody? It's Isaac from Alchemy here with episode 18 of the Alchemy Devlog. In this episode, we're going to go over game themes. There's a new way to select the theme for your game. We've also got a couple small account updates. You can change your password while signed in, and you can delete your account. We've also got a preview of a feature that we should be rolling out by the end of this episode, hopefully, to search your connected universes for your in-game articles and items and things of that nature. And lastly, I'm going to go over our roadmap, what's coming up next, and show a sneak peek at some Pirate Borg features that are coming up very soon. First up, let's take a look at some new changes to themes. We rolled out themes a couple weeks ago as a new way to customize universes and games to your liking. We tried to be smart about it and choose the theme to apply to your game, and it turns out nobody liked that. Oops, my bad. So this week we're rolling out a way to select the theme that you want to use for your game. Nice, simple way to make everybody happy there. So if you go to one of your existing games and go to edit it, you'll see in the game settings down here, theme. And this shows you a drop down of the available themes that you can pick based on the universes that are enabled in the content tab for this game. So on this game, I've got the default Alchemy theme, but I've also got the 5e SRD theme because I have the 5e SRD universe enabled for this. If I wanted more themes available, I can just enable more universes here. So my test universe has a theme applied to it. And if I go back over to the games tab, I'll now see Isaac's test universe as an option here, which switches up the theme here. And then this will apply to the game as well. So if I hop into my test game now, it uses the sort of gray custom theme that I had with this font as well. You can change that live in a game if you want as well. It's probably not going to update for all the players who are in the game though, so they may need to refresh to get that change on their side. So keep that in mind. Maybe someday we'll make that nice for you. Themes also apply to game creation and character creation now as well. So if I go into create a new game here, you'll see the 5th edition theme gets applied to this modal, benefiting from all the nice bits there. And if I were to switch to something like Pirate Borg, it's going to switch to that theme, kids on bikes, get everything all customized for your system. And when I go in to create a new game this way, it's going to now automatically select the game system reference universe, as I've been calling it. If I go in to edit this game, you'll see that on the content tab, the 5th edition system reference universe is enabled automatically. That's going to carry forward to future systems as well. So when you, for example, gain access to kids on bikes, it's going to automatically enable the kids on bikes universe whenever you do a quick start. That'll be important for us rolling out new systems in the future. This also applies to characters. So when you go in to create a new character in your library, it starts out with the 5th edition theme, but as you select a new system, it's going to morph to show you the theme for the system, giving you a nice little updated preview for your new character. Hello there. Themey. Yay. There are a few parts of themes that are a little bit tricky to create, specifically the avatar frame, the scene title frame. Any of the frames here in the game experience require pretty specific dimensions in order to look good and work correctly. And there's kind of a lot of stuff here in the theme that you can use, a lot of powerful features. We are working on a knowledge base article for this to show you exactly how to use all of these things, and we're going to include examples and maybe even templates if we can get that sorted out, Photoshop templates and the like, to make creating your own themes a little bit simpler. Look out for that knowledge base article sometime next week. Next up, we have a couple of small but powerful account updates. If you head on over to your profile, there's now an option down here in the settings to change your password while you're signed in. So just click that button, confirm your current password here, and then enter your new password, confirm your new password, and click save to set that new password on your account. If you forgot your password, you can now click this link to get an email to reset your password from here. Prior to today's update, you could only reset your password from the forgot password link signed out of the app. So now that's available here while you're signed in as well. Below that is a button to delete your account. So if you're done with Alchemy and you'd like to delete your account and all of the data associated with it in an irreversible process, confirm your username and password here and click the delete my account button, and your account will be deleted forever. So be very careful. This is the danger zone. Don't go clicking things for fun or, sharing your password with people who may be nefarious. Yeah, be careful. Next up, we've got in-game universe search. This feature is in progress right now as I'm recording this. It's not live in production yet, but it should be by the time this episode releases this afternoon. Fingers crossed. So I'll show you what that currently looks like on my development build. And this should be pretty close to what you see live once this episode is out. I'm going to launch this, the Lost Druid game. Let's take a look at what's enabled here content-wise. We've got the 5th edition system reference document universe, and we've also got the Lore of Aethera universe enabled. I'm going to go ahead and launch this game. And in here, you'll see a new search icon here in the sidebar where the kind of common tools are. Clicking on this will bring up a universe search bar where you can search in your connected universes, searching everything, or you can filter down to Lore of Aethera or the 5e and search for items and articles and eventually anything in these universes. So let's take a look at an item. The Coat of Mechwood from the Lost Druid. It's right here. So I can send that to the journal by clicking this button. I can also click on it to open that article straight from there, dismissing that with the escape key. And we have this item in the journal in a nice form, shareable to players to take a look at. You can also bring this up with a keyboard shortcut. I know it's Command K on Mac. It might be Control Shift K on Windows, but check the release notes for the full details on that. You can search articles as well here. So we'll search for Gilgazo. He's mentioned in the introduction article, and of course many other articles throughout the Lost Druid. We'll go ahead and open this article to see what secrets it contains. And if you want to send that to the journal, you can do that by clicking this button as well. And now your players will be able to view that article. We'll be rolling out a lot more features to this little handy quick search over the next few weeks. And like I said, it should be live by the time this episode reaches your eyeballs. So lots more that we can build out here for an in-game search, but we are very excited about what we have to start with here and think it's going to be super useful. Let's take a look at what's coming up next. So the first thing to point out is the roadmap in the What's New section has been revamped. We went through this and updated everything to make it a little bit easier to see what's going on and to split apart the V1 core features from the game systems that we're building out. So taking a look here, currently in progress, we have the ability for GMs to grant players the permission to play non-player characters. That is coming up soon in the next week or two. We've got the in-game universe search, which I just showed off, and that should be launching in its first version today. We have spectator statuses and a spectator chat in the in-game experience coming out very soon. That's in progress now. And then another boring one, but very important, we've got transactional emails coming for confirmation of your email address and account updates, things of that nature, to make sure you're looped into any potentially unauthorized modifications to your account. On deck for V1 features, we've got streamer mode, which is a feature we detailed in our Kickstarter page. That's going to be getting started on very soon. And we have two great, very frequently requested tactical mode features: rulers for measurement and the ability to obscure portions of tactical maps from your players, aka Fog of War. We also have a long list of game systems that we're adding support for. And you can see right here, you're probably well aware that we support D&D 5th edition, and we have our custom game system here as well. We also have Pirate Borg. If you buy that on our marketplace or have gotten a code from the Pirate Borg Kickstarter, You can create Pirate Borg games on Alchemy today, but good news for all of you Pirate Borg players, we are a couple of weeks into a very big Pirate Borg overhaul, which we've been doing as part of our upcoming work on the core Merc Borg system, as well as Vast Grim. So we are, in the next week to two, we'll be rolling out a big Pirate Borg update based on our Merc Borg system implementation. And I'll actually show you how some of that works now. Let's head over to create a new Pirate Borg game. I will go ahead and start it with the Pirate Borg scenes auto-created for me so that we can take a look at some cool Pirate Borg stuff. Okay, here's a new Pirate Borg game. When I add a new player here, I'll add my test account. We have a lot of new options for character creation in Pirate Borg. The Merc Borg systems are similar to other OSR systems in that your characters are often a little bit more throwaway in a way. I guess you could just say the systems are a lot more lethal, and the ability to generate a new character quickly is pretty important in these systems. So with that in mind, the upcoming changes to Pirate Borg involve a lot of randomization for your character creation, as well as some of the stuff you saw for Kids on Bikes in terms of showing you a little bit more details about what's happening during character creation versus just like the 5e character creation that we have today is just name, class, race, fill everything else in afterwards. With these, you can just click the random pirate button to get an entirely new random character. So here we've got Juan, whose class is Brute, with the starting feature Tavern Boxer, and you can see a little breakout here of what the Brute does to your stats and a little bit of information about the Brute class. And it has also generated random selections for background, distinctive flaw, physical trademark, idiosyncrasies, unfortunate incidents and conditions, things of importance, and all of the starter equipment here as well. If I don't like that, I can just click the random pirate button, get everything all regenerated, new values here on everything, and looks good. Go ahead and create that character. Now we've got Will created. He's got default actions for all the things. He's got all that equipment that was automatically set up based on the selections there on the character sheet, and everything's ready to play. Later on, when Will dies, poor Will, you can create a new character and generate a new random pirate, getting all of that new stuff with one click. If you want a little bit more control over what's happening there, you can generate a random value for each field individually. So I deleted David now. Let's go in and play. And instead of clicking random pirate, I'm going to go with a pirate named Isaac. And I can't decide on a class, so I'm going to just let fate guide me here. Buccaneer. Sounds good. Starting feature. I can select from a list of things from the Pirate Borg book. Crackshot. Background, again, you can select sailor. Distinctive flaw. Let's go with random here. Physical trademark. Dreaded hair. Idiosyncrasies. Let's go with random. Unfortunate incidents and conditions. We've got a list here. Randomize that. Stole a ship. Yeah. Things of importance. A shell. Container. Backpacks are always handy. Cheap gear. You always need rope. Fancy gear. Fishing. Always fishing. Every game needs fishing. Clothing and armor. Let's go with rags. Common clothes. A hat. Bandana. Keep that sweat from dripping into your eyeballs. Dangerous at sea. And weapon. This is based on the previous selections here. So the Buccaneer can start with a Buccaneer's musket. And off we go. Picked some of those, randomized others, and everything made it into my character. Ready to go. We will definitely be bringing these changes to other systems in the future. We're building a lot of the foundations to be able to do this sort of thing now, starting with Pirate Borg, since we already have a great foundation there. But as I said earlier, a lot of this feeds into what we're doing for Merc Borg and then eventually Vast Grim, and it will influence how we do systems in the future. We'll probably come back around and bring this to 5e someday, but who knows when, because that's going to be a beast. As for when you'll see this roll out for Pirate Borg, I think you can expect to see it in the next week to 2. Certainly by the next time I record a devlog episode, this should be live in production for all of you pirates out there. Yar! All right, let's move into Q&A. We've had 2 questions come in since last episode. First up, Soren asks about NPC handout sharing. In the last devlog, episode 17, William asked if he could share NPC information with players and keep other information hidden, and was shown the send to journal functionality, which is great, by the way. Thanks for that. You're welcome. My question is, there are plans to bring this to the NPC handout? Right now, when sharing a handout of an NPC directly, or showing in an article through the NPC embed code, they're shown stats and notes for that NPC. That sounds like it might be a bug, so let's take a quick look at that. Let's go back into this Pirate Borg game. Okay, so if I share Captain Davies to the journal this way, on the GM side of things, I see all of these bits here. Over on the player side, I shouldn't see all of those secrets. Yeah, so you only see the stuff that's been revealed by the GM, which in this case is nothing. You were speaking specifically about a handout. Let's add a new handout for Captain Davies. And in the content, okay, we'll paste in Captain Davies embed code here. We'll call it character sheet and save this handout. Now, if I'm viewing this as the game master, I've got this character sheet button. I click that and it brings up the read-only GM character sheet for Captain Davies. Let's jump back over to my player account and take a look at the handouts tab. Oh, I forgot to share it. We'll share this to my player account and then click into Captain Davies, click on the character sheet button, and there it is. It's showing me the full GM stat block here. So that's definitely a bug. We weren't aware of that. It's not on our list anywhere that I know of, so we will get that added in and fixed up here pretty soon. Thank you for the devlog question that turned bug hunt, which turned bug report. Okay, next up, Miko asks about player and GM knowledge markdown blocks. Would it be possible, as you create the ability to fence off certain portions of an entry as a GM secret, to extend the functionality so that the content can be made visible on a per player basis? I would imagine that a block style where you can determine who has a visibility of the block. This would allow information to be provided to each player based on what their character knows without calling out the differences quite so blatantly. That's a great idea. We'll have to think through how we would want to implement that when we get around to having these kind of player knowledge blocks or GM knowledge blocks. But definitely a good suggestion. So thank you for that, Miko, and stay tuned. All right, that's all for this episode of the Alchemy Devlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, head on down below, click the like button, click subscribe, and click that bell to get notified about future updates. If you have a question of your own, you can find a link to submit that to us down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Let's go play some games.